All right. The last thing I want to show you about the Snap stuff is that, contrary, I mean, this is the most expected story of the day. Republicans have decided to take advantage of Sora, artificial intelligence AI, to make these Snap recipients, angry Snap recipient videos.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I get over $2,500 a month in stamps. I sell them $2,000 worth for about $1,200 to $1,500 cash. That's why everybody's upset. Folks say we're taking advantage, but that's how we get by.
And that's the frustration we're hearing out here in downtown Atlanta.
The Sora AI logo can be seen appearing in the upper left corner of the video. Additionally, the car behind the speakers is not a real car in production by any known company. The video is AI generated. 15,000 likes. Title is, lady gets $2,500 a month, Snap food stamps, and she sells all of them for $1,200 a month. What an absolute scam. It took longer than I expected. I mean, this is the primary function of AI, right? Because conservatives love making up an alternative reality. And because there's no like real life examples they can point to, now they have a tool where they can basically make it up and then get angry at the thing that they made up. What a perfect tool for conservative mania.
It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids. They cutting off EBT since the shutdown. I can't use EBT in November. I got 7 kids with 7 daddies. Who's supposed to feed them? Them men ain't paying for nothing. They cut my mother food stamps to $85 from $738. How the that's supposed to support a household of 3.
You know, I didn't really notice all the issues with the EBT stuff because I've been too busy working. Like every time I go to the grocery store, my card cleared. My debit card, credit card, doesn't matter what card I use. I work 7 days a week and I've just never even really cared. This is why people don't care about EBT going away. They don't care about it.
I think people need to understand what's going on here. If you are a right-wing creator on this app, your algorithm for the last 2, maybe 2.5 weeks has been nothing but these videos of supposed Snap recipients freaking out about losing their benefits and saying these genuinely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't subtle racism. What do you guys think welfare queens was? That's what this is. That's why they're black women for the most part. That's why there's all these mentions about having 7 children with 7 different baby daddies. That's why they act as though they're getting thousands of dollars sometimes in Snap funds from the government. And it's all just made up. Snap subsidies are not that expensive for the most part. It's just like, it's just additional, it's additional aid. Nutritional aid, food assistance. And yes, all of those videos that you guys saw were actually made up. They were AI. Those were all AI videos. The white guy responding to them was some racist dumbass who is a real Republican. And his response was, oh, I work, so I don't need Snap. Not realizing that there are more white Americans on Snap than there are black Americans. It's so dumb. Classic example of the Lee Atwater conundrum. Look.
Matters. It's made by Impossible_ASMR1, who, after 8 failed slot posts and a 3-month break, decided that Sora could finally make their dream content. Videos of black women trying to use EBT in places it's not accepted. True creativity unleashed by AI. The shutdown created an opportunity to have them yell at the camera, but it's not till the whole family's back there that the full racist stereotype is fulfilled. This is rage bait, and we'll get angry commenters who, when they learn it's AI, will say, oh, but it's true anyway, which of course...
Yeah, that's the other thing. Oh, well, it depicts a reality. That's the coward's version of this, where it's like, well, you say it's AI, but like it technically depicts the reality, right?
Of course it's not, and that's cope for being played. They were so played they didn't notice the kid missing half an arm while the other kids are frozen in place for no reason, and these down here are warping together.
Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, but here's the AI stuff. Like, is there? There's, I assume, more as well. This guy goes into more. Is so obviously written by a conservative. Like, it's not my fault, it's the government taxpayers' responsibility. Like, ugh.
if they're taking videos from real people and using their face to make AI, but that looks...
Shout out to that last creator. Go follow her because she put that together, that montage. It's the same video. It's AI. It's the same script. It's, you type in angry black...
They're too mad to write a good script. I mean, other choice words would be, oh, I love buying alcohol with my EBT and defrauding white taxpayers. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking of like, what are the other things that like Republicans fantasize about that like black people do in their minds as they are taking advantage of the social safety nets that exist. Yeah, I love buying soda and getting fat. Meanwhile, the guy who's like on the other side is just as fat, but just angry. I have a Mercedes-Benz vehicle that I put all of my EBT purchase groceries into. That's another one. That's another common one. Yeah. Welfare queens, you mean? Yes, that is the trope. That is the racialized trope. And it's a perfect example of how white people who also rely on these programs unironically advocate against them because they think black people are taking advantage of it. That's how you get poor white people to advocate against their best interest, by making them fantasize about black people somehow also taking advantage of the very same programs that they are literally using. Yeah, why are our tax dollars subsidizing lobster for SNAP recipients? Why do you get to have a say, man? Why do you think you get to have a say? I don't understand it. There's this one as well. This is from the same lady who first posted the AI. This lady might be a fucking bot herself, actually. Now that I think about it, America spends $7.8 billion monthly on SNAP. If illegals were removed from SNAP, the cost would reduce 70%. If all benefits were cut off, they would leave. 45% of all Afghanis living in America receive free food from you. Is this your American dream? Because it sure isn't mine. Food stamps by ethnicity. What the f? Wait. What am I looking at? Yeah. White with the American flag next to it. Only 8.6% of food stamps. What is this? I'm all for tightening down hard on illegal immigration, but we literally bombed the f out of Afghans for 20 years. So yeah, if anyone deserves free food from me, it's probably them. Oh my God, this is a woke Republican? Fact checking a viral U.S. food stamps recipient race ethnicity. This is from 29th of October. The groups were labeled by nationalities such as Afghan, Somali, Iraqi, along with racial groups white, black, and native. The chart appeared to show that Afghan people were the largest group receiving SNAP benefits at 45.6%, followed by Somali and Iraqi. White people represented on the chart with the U.S. flag were third to last at 8.6%. Yeah, except white is the largest group of people on this list. Of course, it's going to be the tiniest number. It's so stupid. America is 66% white, 8%. Of 66% of the entire country is going to be a much larger number than 45% of all Afghan people on U.S. soil. Like, infinitely larger. The number of Afghan people on U.S. soil is like, what, less than 1%? Quoting tweet from 1776 general. You don't understand racist math? I don't think they understand racist math. Yeah, also, this is correct. This is not a graph of food stamp recipients by ethnicity. It's ethnicity by share of its population who are food stamp recipients. And the smaller the number of people are in this group, the larger the percentage is going to be. This is a perfect demonstration of lying with statistics. According to the most recent USDA data available from 2023, white people are the largest racial group receiving SNAP benefits at 35.4%. African Americans are next, making up 25.7% of recipients. Then Hispanic people at 15.6%, Asian people at 3.9%, Native Americans at 1.3%. By the way, none of these people are undocumented. If a household that has an undocumented parent is receiving SNAP benefits, that means that household has a documented American citizen in it. So just make no mistake. Same report found that 89.4% of SNAP recipients were U.S.-born citizens, meaning less than 11% of SNAP participants were foreign-born. And by the way, if they're foreign-born, that means they are still American citizens, or of the latter figures, 6.2 were naturalized American citizens, 1.1% were refugees, and 3.3% were other non-citizens, including lawful permanent residents and other eligible non-citizens. So it's a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage So the amount of Afghani SNAP recipients, about 1 million people total? No, I don't even think so. How many Afghan, no, less than that. It's 45% of the estimated 200 to 250,000, many of which are refugees, by the way, which means the number of households that are receiving SNAP benefits would be 50 or 45,000, and the number of Afghan nationals living on U.S. soil under refugee status that are receiving SNAP benefits would be a little less than 100,000. Brother, you know what per capita is? Who cares about the specific number of human beings? Is showing that a majority of individuals coming from those regions are receiving benefits. That adds up quickly. Okay, let's say there's a major crisis in Bhutan and we caused it. But because the overall number of people living in Bhutan is fairly low, or rather the amount of people that we're bringing in from Bhutan is also relatively low, we bring in 5 people from Bhutan to the United States of America, and we give 100% of those 5 people SNAP recipients. Would your dumbass also turn around and be like, well, 100% of people from Bhutan got SNAP recipients? Well, it adds up. No, you wouldn't, because you're not a idiot, I hope. That's 100%. It's a big number. America has 330 million people on U.S. soil, and you're talking about 100,000 refugees, brother. Refugees that we displaced, issuing a gripe over 0.006% of the population. That's why the bigger the number, the more dangerous it is. Doesn't work. From personalfinancewizards.org. Grandmaster Wizard. But this type of shit is exactly how white people broadly were in favor of eradicating social safety nets, because as demonstrated by even chatters in here, they see a motherfucker that they suspect is not like them receiving SNAP benefits, albeit a tiny fraction of SNAP benefits in the grand pile, and they immediately go, whoa, we got to shut it down. We got to shut it down. Jamel Hill says, I really wish y'all would just admit you hate low-income people rather than constantly bitching and complaining about how they shouldn't be afforded the slightest bit of dignity or convenience. Would it make you feel better if instead of getting to use DoorDash, let them walk to get their food? In fact, let's only allow them porridge and crackers, no salt, just tasteless communion wafers. Would that make you feel better about the roughly $40 a month that the average American contributes to funding SNAP? I just hate that, man. I just like, it's so gross. Like, there is definitely a decent number of people that are like just above that line of ever needing SNAP that think that they are somehow so much better than the people that do need it. They just can't put themselves in the shoes of someone else that is less fortunate than they are. And they just constantly lord over with this unimaginable sense of entitlement. Like, it's so nasty. It's such a nasty, stupid way to behave. I don't understand it. Like, what are we doing here? The people that are also on these programs oftentimes exhibit a sense of shame regardless, which they shouldn't. They should not. And that's also part of the reason. This is the reason, because Americans are so gross and so self-interested. This is the wealthiest nation on the planet, dude. This is the wealthiest nation on the planet. And we can't even feed our neighbors? Like, what are we doing? There's already another $6 billion additional funds, $6 billion in contingency funds that the Republican administration is refusing to add on to the SNAP benefits pile right now. They have it specifically for this moment. And they're claiming we can't use it because they want to starve the poor. Like, you're talking about people who are going to not eat and skip a meal so they can feed their children at a time when we're dumping $40 billion to Argentina so Scott Bessent's bestie can continue making money off of the Argentinian debt that he purchased many, many decades prior. Like, that's the reality here. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on this ass ballroom, all this unlimited billions to Israel, and dumb Americans are literally like, oh, there's an American out there that's a little bit broker than me. Him. I hope he dies. Like, that's the attitude that people have. It is so it's just so annoying. And the thing is, like, you don't need to suffer through the harrowing existence of being someone of the working class background that is objectively so poor that they need this kind of that they needs these kinds of programs to survive. You shouldn't have to do that. You can just have basic empathy. You could just think a little bit, close your eyes and imagine yourself in that predicament. It's gross, dude. And this is like, I could not comprehend it when Americans were doing this with like the student loan debt relief. Like, oh, I had to pay mine off. How come other people have to, how come other people get it taken care of for free? That's unfair. It's like, dude, what do you mean? It's like a cancer patient. It's like cancer patients who survived cancer united to make sure that this new cancer treatment never actually goes out to market because they have to suffer through chemotherapy. So you also have to go through that and maybe you have a 50-50 chance of survival. How dare you? Yeah, SNAP makes up around 12% of grocery sales nationally, according to the National Grocers Association, a pro-business trade group that represents grocers. Any extended gap in SNAP payments is likely to see layoffs and possibly even store closures. This is something I brought up as well. This is not good for the 42 million Americans, but it's also not even good for like some of the big businesses in this country. It's not good for the farmers either.
Why is the government shutdown not a both sides issue? Why are the Democrats to blame? Well, Democrats are using a short-term spending bill to push long-term policy changes that don't belong there.
Wow. Yeah, that never happens. Yeah, it's their only point of leverage, dumbass. It's their only point of leverage. And what are they actually advocating for? It's not like they're fighting so that they can fund Israel harder or some shit. They're fighting for Republicans. Again, Republicans and Democrats alike, but Republican voters and Democrat voters. Actually, I'll go so far as to say they're actually fighting for a larger share of Republican voters than Democrat voters, as a matter of fact, when they're trying to make sure the ACA subsidies remain. Who the do you think uses those subsidies to make sure that their health care is not triple their cost? What kind of downstream consequences does that have? Medicaid funds the rural hospitals that remain, if they even have rural hospitals to begin with. Yeah, the ACA premiums are going to explode, dude. Here's how much Obamacare prices are rising across the country. Change in 2026 monthly premiums without extra subsidies for 60-year-olds. The magnitude of the change depends on where people live, how old they are, and what they earn. Extended subsidies would cost federal government around $23 billion next year and about $350 billion over the next decade. The real solution here, by the way, is obviously to not even extend the subsidies, but to have Medicare for all. But obviously, we're not even having that conversation right now. This is just a Band-Aid solution to make sure that people aren't getting destroyed. Wait, there's the second part of the AI video where it says that white people are patriotic and they'll go and get a job. I can't believe we're back to like 80s style. Like this is directly the same argument around welfare queens, by the way. This is straight up the same exact argument.
Black woman, and it has to be a black woman for this to work. Angry black woman screaming.
Yeah, nearly 6 in 10 marketplace enrollees, 57%, live in congressional districts represented by a Republican. 78% of people say the tax credit should be continued.
About losing benefits to feed her 7 kids by 7 different daddies, and it's the taxpayer's responsibility. It's the same script. Here's another version with white people.
They just cut my stamps again. Took them right out from under us like we ain't even people. I gotta figure out how to feed these kids now. I swear to God, I'm about to go apply anywhere that'll have me.
They cut my food stamps. It's my patriotic duty to get a job. I gotta feed myself, my wife, and our babies.
Now get your shoes if you're going out.
I'm serious. I gotta do it.
Here's another example. This one might not be AI, okay? This is a different type of video that these people are seeing.
My food stamps just got cut from a little over $3,000 a month to $800 a month, and I'm pregnant with my 9th child, and I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna pay the grocery bill. The money we save by having the government pay for our groceries.
I don't think this is, I think this is also AI. What do you mean? She said she gets $3,000 in SNAP benefits and has 8 children so far and is about to get the 9th.
Groceries we were using to pay for our mortgage. But now if we're going to have to use our mortgage money to eat, I don't know how.
Here's another video from that creator, just a few videos down in her grid from that video. And I'm warning you, this is really gross. I'm just going to play a couple seconds of it because it's disgusting.
My husband made the semen soup, and I promised you guys I would give you an update on how it tastes after I tried it. So...
Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, I see what it is. She's a rage baiter. Dude, what the is wrong with people, man? Yo, people are just so bricked by the internet. Even without AI, you got whole ass humans doing this shit.
She's not AI, she's just a shit poster. I mean, she's just posting ridiculous crap for views. That semen soup video, along with most of...
Like, the semen soup video is gross, but, like, the other thing that she's doing is parallel to like pre-existing insane statements. You know what I mean? It's like we have created an incentive structure to be a monster online. Yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
Content gets zero engagement, like nothing. That Snap benefits video where she's talking about her benefits going from $3,000 to $800, which is ridiculous. Nobody gets $3,000 in Snap, but that's the point. She's a shit poster. That video got a ton of engagement. That was a huge, huge success for her. So you have, on the one hand, you have just AI farms pumping out a ton of...
Yeah. How are you going to look at all this and then tell me, in all sincerity, that the Chinese firewall isn't an objectively good idea? It's to protect them. It's to protect them from this, from our brain poison. God damn it, dude.
Videos that are playing to like visceral responses from people, black people talking about how it's the taxpayer's responsibility. And you notice how they don't say it's the government's responsibility. That's market tested for rage bait. Like, if you say it's the government's responsibility, the word government has a negative connotation. You might get people that agree with you on that one. But if you say it's the taxpayer's responsibility, that is more likely to induce rage because people are more likely to see themselves as a taxpayer rather than a contributor to the government or part of the government. It's market.
The censored internet still allows VPNs mostly. There's a part Western narratives leave out. Yeah, but it's kind of like it's already discouraged because it's like difficult to get into it, right? That's the whole point. Just one additional step you need to abide by. So many people are just not going to do it so they can see the metric ton of brain rotted slop.
Tested rage bait, and it's being pumped out 24 hours a day. And as soon as any one of these MAGA creators engages with it, they're going to see hundreds of videos like this. This is what we're up against because these people have zero media literacy, zero critical thinking skills. How do you possibly explain to these people, these videos look so real, and they're not. They're fake. They're AI. How do you explain that to people, that what they're seeing with their own eyes is not real? And they're basing their entire worldview and their entire political argument off of something that isn't real. We're out here arguing the statistical facts that less than 1% of people on food stamps commit fraud, that almost everybody on food stamps works, and that they get the average food stamp per month is $500. Some people get a lot less than that. But we're not arguing with people who are arguing facts. We're arguing with people who are been brainwashed by AI.
No, it's not. It's people that already had this opinion. They already had this bias. They already had encountered this racist stereotype. And now you got a metric ton of propaganda that looks real. And especially if you're already biased in that direction, you're going to be like, oh, see? You see? You're not going to second guess it because it agrees with you. It sucks.
This is a terrifying time to be alive. And this is why I've been talking about for years. I don't think a certain population...
They were doing like the Islamophobic rage bait as well in like Londonistan, right? Like they were like, oh, yeah. Oh, la ilaha illallah. Yeah, I'm here to do fucking violence to the white Englishmen. That's why I came out here to shank yous. You know, that's what they were posting up videos like that. Inshallah, bro, we'll take over the fucking whites in England, yeah?
A certain subset of this population can handle it. I think we are devolving as a species. Technology is just too much for some people to have because...
Yeah, they did it for the Palestine protesters, yeah.
Well, I'm just sad that it's over. I just don't know how I'll pay rent without my protesting money. Like, do I need to find a job?
Unfortunately, everybody, that is our future. Young 21-year-old boys and girls going out there and being paid to protest.
That guy literally thought that was real. Oh my God. It says Sora right there, bro. Oh my God. We're so cooked. Oh my God. This is what our family are watching on Facebook. Oh my God. Thank God my mom only watches like cute animal videos that are AI. And I'm like, Mom, that's an AI video you're watching. And she goes, I know, but it's cute.
Thinks it's real. He doesn't know that's AI. Like he is fully convinced that actually happened.
The next wave of this is going to be the boomer that's also AI, by the way. The next wave of this is going to be not only this guy's AI, but the boomer reacting to it is also AI. And then that causes other boomers to go, see, a boomer who has the same exact look of me and the same exact feelings that I have is responding in the same exact way that I should be. Just wait, dude. Metal Gear Solid 2 predicted all this? God damn it, dude. Oh my God, it's so cooked. We're so cooked. God damn everything. Everything sucks. Everything sucks dick and balls, brother. Holy shit.